This is the third update for my program. So far I added this here that disables the button. So for example, I can have an extra sauce on the side. Let's say tzatziki. It's a Greek sauce. Alright, then we say without in that category and add it like that. Let's say I want to add an extra thing like a chocolate, or chocolate does not fit in a way, but and then when we go here, without tzatziki, there is no price on it because we press the sub item, and then here is the price. And now is the time to show a little bit of my project here. And so basically what I have done is I managed to put everything in the folder because before they were just like scripts here and it was like really difficult to manage it. The other thing I did was that I refactor a lot of my classes, and for example, this is my menu, the one we were watching, and this kind of need a little bit of refactoring as well because I just made it. In here I have a multiple converter that what it does, it checks if this name here and this are checked, makes enable the add section button. This here is my list view, so it's the box that displays the icons from the database and stuff. So I bind it to a collection of a list that I will show you in a minute, and here I use the selected index to display the last value or something like that. This is for the images and all basic stuff that need to be shown over there. Because I follow the me pattern, I have these folders here, and here are just my properties, and here is the section that I've been binding on, and I use this in my model to declare the properties. In here I have a class for any delegate commands. Basically, I downloaded it from the GitHub, but it's not from Prism, so it basically does the same job. So when I add a session, I check if the table does not exist, then we will create a table, and then we can basically add the items to the database, and if in scenario that our database exists, they won't just add straight in the items. In the end of it, we add the items to our database, but this is where it gets our last row. So basically it displays the last row of our item that we added. So yeah, and then it clears the input functions. I have a proper naming, so it's easy for you to even understand this. If you have seen how it was in the first place, it was a disaster anyways. This function here I use to store the images in the database, and I store it as a string. So basically when I bind, the images get the screen from the database, which I will show you in a second. So here is how I save the location. and then I find that location and I saw the pictures, and yeah. And then here I just find the image that gets from the string over there. I just wanted to show you also, here is my base view model. So I have a property of notify property change. So what it does is basically when something is changing, like let's say this one here is with when I hide this or more like when I press this button, I turn the visibility to hidden, and when it does that, it updates the padding in the grid, and then it turns it to off because the visibility, that's what it does. I also use a dictionary for my button here, so basically in here I set the background and the font color in most of my buttons in the application, so I don't have to remake the style for each button. So I just paste the style and that's it. So yeah, I think that's basically it.